Allow me to introduce myself.
I'm Nathan Rich, aka 火锅大王. Taiwan is not a country. Taiwan is the country. Taiwan is the country. Taiwan is the country. Taiwan is a country. Taiwan is a country. Taiwan is a country. Taiwan is a country.
Yeah, a little creepy.
Nathan Rich thinks Taiwan isn't a country. I want to keep this short because I don't want to waste too much time on this James Bond villain. I'm not going to give you the reasons why Taiwan is a country. I mean, come on, there are already plenty of videos online about this obvious fact. So, why don't many countries, including the country where I'm from, the UK, not recognise Taiwan as a country? Well, Nathan Rich kept babbling on and on about this de jure sovereignty crap, which, yeah, okay, maybe it can be used to suggest that Taiwan is not a country. So, to put it in layman's terms, what Nathan Rich was talking about is most countries in the United Nations do not recognize Taiwan as a country. Now, first of all, since when did Nathan Rich care about what other countries think of the status of China? He is always talking about how foreign countries' opinion doesn't count in relation to China, but suddenly when he conveniently needs some evidence, then their opinions do count? Make up your mind, Nathan. Well, anyway, whatever. Feng Pi Dawang seems to neglect the huge elephant in the room, and that elephant is the main reason why UN countries don't recognize Taiwan as a country. It's this thing called the One China policy. Basically, this is the diplomatic acknowledgement of China's position that there is only one Chinese government, that government being the Chinese Communist Party. It basically means that most countries that want to have formal ties with China must agree to this. They must recognize that the CCP is the one true government in China, and if you want to have diplomatic ties with them, you must cut off all diplomatic ties with Taiwan. It's kind of like that asshole kid that you went to school with that maybe had a little bit of money and a little bit of influence, and this kid tells you who you can or can't be friends with. When you're at school, you listen to that kid because maybe he buys you lunch, maybe he can be used for something. But when school is out, you hang out with the other kid because that other kid is way cooler than that silly little bully. So other countries are desperate to do business with China because they can make us all of their cheap crap. So we'll pretty much agree to do anything to keep that cheap crap coming in. This One China policy is very distinct from One China principle, where China insists that Taiwan is an inalienable part of China to be returned to them one day, be it by force or by peaceful means. Most countries actually don't recognize these claims and continue to do business with Taiwan despite the CCP's opposition. What does Taiwan think about this? Well, Taiwan informally claims that it is an independent country. It has an independent government, military, etc., etc. It's kind of weird, but most countries actually did recognize the Taiwanese government as the legitimate government of China right up until the end of the 1970s. Only in 1979 did relations with China start to blossom and all ties with Taiwan were severed. So, Nathan Rich, are you willing to admit that China was not actually a country up until 1979 when most countries actually didn't recognize it? I'm sure there will be a lot of Chinese nationalists who would argue otherwise. You better be careful, Nathan. Now let's use Nathan Rich's logic coupled with the One China policy in a realistic, hypothetical scenario just to show you how ridiculous it really is. Let's say North Korea suddenly becomes the factory of the world, kind of like China is now. They suddenly have this influence and tell us that we shouldn't recognize South Korea as the legitimate government of Korea. I'm pretty sure most countries would do the same as what they have done with the China situation, and that is no longer recognize South Korea. It really does suck that we've put all of our principles to one side just to get cheaply manufactured crap. So Nathan Rich, Taiwan is in fact a country, mate, no matter what you say. The CCP is just being its usual childish little self and exploiting other countries' needs to buy cheap crap and making them not recognize Taiwan as a country. Pretty pathetic, really, and what's even more pathetic is you keep spreading their BS propaganda. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
So long, man. Have a good